A report released this week found serious compliance issues with King County's Department of Community and Human Services. This review found a need for the state's auditor's office to get involved. So let's check in with Fox 13's Sean Chitness, who is live in downtown Seattle with more. Good morning, Sean.
Maria, good morning. And so the Department of Community and Human Services has many different programs. They can serve veterans, seniors, children, and young adults. It also works to help people who have disabilities, behavioral health needs, as well as those who are looking for affordable housing. Now, in this particular case, the report that has been made public this week by the Office of the Ombuds is in response to concerns from the King County Auditor's Office, focusing on 4 youth programs run by DCHS. This review looked into 19 community partners funded by that agency. The report says there was waste, fraud, or abuse in some cases, and it can't be ruled out in others without further investigation. The report explains DCHS grew its grant funding significantly in recent years, in part because of the pressure to give out money quickly during the pandemic. The Office of the Ombuds is referring the report to the Washington State Auditor's Office for review and additional appropriate action. Some of the findings are severe enough that parts of the report are being sent over to law enforcement for possible criminal investigation into fraud, forgery, and attempted theft. So some of the key findings from this independent report include almost $700,000 in questionable costs, potentially altered documents where some documents were made, created, or modified after the fact, multiple examples where there may be conflicts of interest, including using a consultant who is related to a DCHS manager in charge of the contracts that consultant was hired to advise. And then there are also several cases where documents are missing and poor financial management that includes inconsistent record keeping. Now, the documents made available this week include a letter from the head of this agency, DCHS, in which she says that there are no examples of fraud that have been confirmed and that the organization is working to strengthen internal controls and ensure greater oversight, transparency, and accountability. Live in Seattle, Sean Chitness, Fox 13 News.
All right. The report finds almost $700,000 worth of questionable spending at the King County Department of Community and Human Services.
County officials say waste, fraud, and potential abuse likely happened with multiple youth programs. KIRO 7's Brooke Griffin is live in Seattle. And Brooke, a lot of community partners are in hot water this morning.
Yeah, those King County auditors found about $700,000 worth of improperly spent funding across 16 youth programs here in the county. Now, they tell us that this is just a massive misuse of taxpayer funds, and some of that spending will actually be referred to law enforcement agencies to handle. King County Councilmember Reagan Dunn originally asked for a financial audit of the human services programs back in 2023. The King County Office of the Ombuds, an independent organization within the county, found those questionable costs. Now, the report shows that those include stipends paid outside approved activities, unsupported cash withdrawals, and costs incurred outside contract periods. It breaks down the problematic observations into 7 sections. Those include questionable costs, potentially altered documents, conflicts of interest, documentation gaps, poor financial management, unauthorized subcontractors, and unauthorized budget changes. Councilmember Dunn addressed the report in a statement saying these programs can't be left to operate on their honor. They need oversight and regular scrutiny to ensure taxpayer dollars actually reach the people that they are intended to help. Now, coming up in the next half hour, I'll show you examples of the charges that the auditors say are just not correct, and they believe that that needs to be looked into. In Seattle, Brooke Griffin, KIRO 7 News.
We know what this was. It for sure was waste, fraud, and abuse. For sure. I find it very funny, though, how once Nick Shirley came out accusing people of fraud, figuring it out, pulling up documentation, and now so many places are starting to put investigations in now. Now they are. They weren't at first. But now since Nick Shirley done started exposing some of these cities and states, now they call themselves being proactive, running their own investigations. But we know what this is, man. Just another case of fraud and abuse and wasteful spending. You know what I'm saying? And we know what it was. We just don't know who. We know like unauthorized expenses, why would they put that on the list? You know when some new tax money coming or somebody done got, you know what I'm saying, granted money for whatever reasons, you know, and all that. You know somebody is gonna be spending some of it. We already know it. And I don't know if that was the case here with those, 16 youth programs, but I guarantee there was somebody eating off that. I guarantee every dollar wasn't going to these youth programs. But whatever, who am I to judge? Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. And let me know what y'all think about waste, fraud, and abuse in the country, period. All right, in the comment section. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Till next time, I'm out.
I feel like I'm good on my own. Don't need nobody beside me.